And we are live. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I want to welcome you guys to the Beast Pod, where we talk all things youth football strategies, tactics, and most importantly, this is where you get your questions answered. I am your host, Coach Beast, man. I hope y'all doing good. So this is an emergency live today, guys. Usually we only go live with the Beast Pod on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But this particular live is going to be unique because we're going to have a discussion, maybe even a debate about playing time, right? We're going to talk about playing time. Should every player in youth football play? Should they get playing time? And we're going to talk about it, whether you disagree, agree, either way is fine, man. But I think this is a very big discussion that we need to have because I brought this discussion up a few days ago on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it blew up. And you had coaches, you had one group of coaches saying, yeah, every kid should have playing time. Every kid should get developed, right? And then you had coaches saying, well, playing time is earned. Playing time is absolutely earned, and every kid don't get the play. And so we're going to talk about it because I want to know. I want to know what side of the fence you on. I want to know if you think every kid should get playing time, or should kids earn their playing time in youth football? And I'm going to also let you guys know my stance on it as well, guys. So if you're watching right now, again, welcome to the Beast Pod. I know this one just kind of came out the blue, and I know a lot of guys watching football and all of that stuff. But listen, if you want to be a part of the show, I'm going to drop the link. You got to come over to the YouTube side, though. If you want to be a part of the show, I'm going to drop the link. You can join me on the show and express how you feel about it, okay? Let me know how you feel about it. And also, do me a solid, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So we don't have, let's see here. I know on TikTok, we got a lot of TikTok people over here. We're going to get straight to the meat of the show because this is critical for me, guys, and it's kind of personal to me because one of the reasons why I got into coaching is because there were so many kids who were neglected in youth football or didn't get the proper playing time. And I'm here to tell you, like my football programs, we were predicated on getting a lot of kids who didn't get playing time, develop them, and we have just kick-ass teams. We have kick-ass teams. I mean, literally probably 60 every year, about 60% of my team are kids who didn't get playing time from other programs. They come over to our program, and guess what? They're whooping ass. So like the question is this a coaching issue? Is it that the coaches just overlook these kids, didn't have time for these kids? Or is it just a simple fact that the kids just didn't shine at that program, right? Like which one is it? So I think the first thing I want to lay out, guys, for you is why kids should have playing time and why, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I believe every kid should have playing time in youth football. I really do. I believe every kid can have playing time, should have playing time. And the reason why I say that, and we're going to get into it deep in a minute, but the reason why I say that is because youth football is all about development, guys. Youth football is all about development. This may be the only time an average Joe kid will get the opportunity to touch a football field. Maybe the only time. Because we know the higher you go up the ladder with sports, whether it's JV, junior high, varsity or whatever, now the playing time is limited because winning matters a little bit more at those levels. We got scholarships on the line, right? We got jobs on the line. We got, a lot of opportunities on the line. But youth football is the gateway where you're gonna have kids from every walk of life trying to play football or basketball or baseball or whatever the sport is, right? You're going to have kids who are special needs. You're going to have kids who have learning disabilities. You're going to have kids who are not naturally talented athletes. You're going to have a whole mixed bag of kids. But their parents sign them up and pay their money so their kid can be developed and contribute to a team. All right. So that's my opening point to this. Okay, guys. And look, let me know in the comments if you agree with what I just said. So put a 1 in the comments if you think every kid should play in youth football. Every kid should have an opportunity to play in youth football. Put a 1. If you don't believe that, put a 2 in the comments. Put a 2 if you think playing time is earned and kids should earn that playing time. Shout out to you guys. Coach Jordan, how you doing, man? Coach says, yes, I finally get to catch a live. And let me put these comments up here. He said, I finally get to catch a live, man. I'm glad to have you on. Yeah, this is kind of an emergency live we got going on. But hey, it's a good one. It's a big one. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about some arguments that we hear as it relates to kids against kids being guaranteed playing time. Okay, the first one is competition matters. Playing time should be earned through effort, discipline, and practice. That's one of the main arguments that I hear, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't disagree that playing time should be earned through effort, discipline, and practice. But there's a key word there: practice. If you're not developing the kid at practice, and if you don't have a good system of development at practice, the kid won't learn. That's on you as the coach. It's on you as the coach to have a system in place to where you're able to develop every kid in your freaking program. But the problem is a lot of coaches don't have a goddamn system. Excuse my language, guys. I'm trying to get better. But that's the issue, guys. A lot of coaches don't have a system. So instead of having a robust system in place where the kids, the developmental players are getting developed and getting prepped to contribute to the team, and the support players are being developed and prepped to contribute to the team, and the studs are being developed and prepped, right, to contribute to the team. Instead of that happening, a lot of coaches just focus on their best players and focus on playing them. And the others, they don't put as much effort into developing them. But yet, those are the kids who need the most development. Your developmental players, or we like to call the runts, some of you guys like to call the scrubs, right? Like, these are the players that needs the most development. So ask yourself, coach, if you are a coach and you got your developmental players, your scrubs, do you have a system where you are developing them? You spending more time with them? I want to know in the comments. Let me know if you got a system where, where you are actually developing these kids. Number 2, winning culture. Coaches believe putting the best players in gives the team the best chance to win. Of course, it's football. You want your best players in to have a chance to win. But like I said, this is youth football. It's about development. You cannot compromise development over winning in youth football. You can if you want, but you're going to have a very shallow brand. You're going to have a very hollow program. And we're going to get into that in detail in a minute. But I'm here to tell you, if you're only focusing on the good players, you're going to neglect a lot of kids. And you're going to turn a lot of kids away from the game of football as a youth football coach. It's a reason why 70% of kids leave leave the game of football by the time they hit 13. 70%, which is absolutely ridiculous in my mind. Because I know a lot of kids, I mean, vividly in my head, it was this kid. We'll just say his name was Tim. I won't give his last name. His name was Tim. Everybody knew this kid was good. Everybody knew this kid was good because we played with him in school. But this kid had a learning disability. And this kid literally wouldn't get any opportunities at practice to be developed. And that kid quit. Then as the kid went up, junior high school, the kid hit the streets, dropped out of school because he had a learning disability. And those are the situations that drives me freaking nuts, because a lot of coaches, and I hate to say this, but a lot of coaches don't believe in their kids. These kids that are more developmental and ain't able to contribute in a major way immediately, they just got them a part of the team. And you know how I know this? Because I read the comments, right? I read the comments. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up some comments from some coaches. This should be fun. I'm going to see if I can pull up some comments that I got from some coaches. And if this sound comes up, guys, forgive me. All right. So we got some coaches saying, playing time is earned during practice, exclamation mark. You can't put a kid in that's not ready just because parents want them in. Let's see what else we got. This is the one that really kind of sparked this show. Can't develop if you don't have talent. You can't develop if you don't have talent. Guys, that pissed me off so much. Because understand this, you are a teacher first. If you are a coach, you are a freaking teacher first. If you're not going to teach these kids the game of football, regardless of their level, why do it? Why coach? That's crazy as hell, right? That's like you. Let's just use you, right? Let's say if you are a kid and you're not a straight A student, you're an average student, or you struggle, you struggle with your grades, and your teacher says, "Oh, well, we're not gonna put focus on you because you don't have that you're not a genius. You're not naturally smart. So we're gonna just focus on these talented kids right here, these gifted kids right here. We're not going to give you the focus." Would you not agree that those are sucky teachers? Would you not agree that that teacher sucks? That's how I feel about coaches who talk about talent and say, well, you can't develop kids who don't have talent. No, maybe you don't have coaching talent. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you don't have the talent and the skill set to properly develop kids. And this is one of the reasons why I believe youth football is in duress, and a lot of parents don't have their kids playing. And why, you got people like me that have to defend youth football coaches around the country from parents and people saying, "Hey, I'm not going to put my kid on the youth football team because these coaches don't know how to coach. They don't know how to develop. I'm not going to put my son on no youth football team." And I have to defend everybody. As a voice in youth football, I have to defend the good, the bad, the ugly. The good coaches, the bad coaches, the whole 9 yards, right? But we as coaches have to be accountable, and we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, am I a good am I doing everything that I can do to be a good coach? Do I have the proper systems in place to be a great coach? Because we can take a kid and we can develop them according to our skill set and our standard, but that don't mean that your standard is up to par with developing great kids. And that's the problem. And you know, the last argument that I hear the most is if a kid isn't ready or doesn't know a technique, playing them could cause injuries. So, and I even heard a coach say, you know, well, you know, it's an injury concern having kids out there, you know, that who don't know what they're doing. This is why you rep it at practice. This is why you practice with these kids. This is why you put the extra work in with these kids. And I hear coaches say, you know, well, the parents need to work with these kids at home. Let me say something. Let me say something about that. And this is another kind of thing that irks me a little bit. What if the parent don't know a thing about football and they're putting their son on your football team, depending on you to teach them the game because you are the football coach, the head football coach with other guys who are football coach. When you put on that polo, hoodie, t-shirt, whatever you decide to wear as a youth football coach, and you got, you know, whatever your name is, you know, Coach John, Coach O, Coach whoever, Coach Beast. When you put that shirt on, man, you got some expertise or some advanced knowledge of the game that the parents don't have. And you get parents who don't know the game. How you say, well, you need to throw the football with your son? How can you say that to a mom who never played the game, who don't, you know, who may not even watch football on a regular basis? How you say that to a dad who works 12 to 14 hours a day and he want to spend more time with his kid, but he just can't because he's trying to make ends meet, but he wants his kid to develop in the game. So he put him on a football team so he can learn. It's not the parent's responsibility. And excuse my language because my mouth, guys, I'm still healing and I'm slurring. So excuse me for that. But it's not the parent's responsibility to teach their kids the game of football if they don't know how. This is why they put their kids on the team. I put my daughters in soccer so they can learn the game of soccer from a soccer coach. I put my kids in track so they can learn the game, learn how to learn track and field through the track coaches. I put my kids in volleyball, even though I ended up being a volleyball coach. I put my kid in volleyball so they can learn the game of volleyball from a volleyball coach. Yeah, I'm going to work with my kids because I'm Coach Beast. Everybody not Coach Beast, though. Everybody don't have the skill set to teach. And it goes back to what I said. If you want to be a good coach, you got to be a good teacher. If you want to be a good coach, you got to be a good teacher. And the problem is we got a lot of coaches who want to call goddamn plays and don't want to teach and develop. Because to teach and develop, it requires patience. To teach and develop, sometimes you don't get instant gratification. Sometimes you got to spend a year or two freaking developing a good team, opposed to recruiting this huge team, talented team, and now you just calling plays and want to win. That's the problem. A lot of you motherfuckers just want to get a super team together and you want to call plays and win games that way. You want to do it the shortcut way. You want to do it the cheap way. You don't want to get a kid that don't know crap about football, but he's coming out there because he enjoys watching it, but he's aspiring to be the next, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes or Ryan Williams or whatever, right? He's aspiring to become the next. And he comes out there wanting to learn the game of youth football. A 9-year-old that don't know, a 9-year-old who just learned how to use the freaking potty 4 or 5 years ago. And you look at the kid and say, he don't have talent. I ain't finna play him. He putting him on the bench. Shame on you. Shame on you. And therein lies the problem. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link. If anybody agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. I'm dropping the link in the comments on the YouTube side, guys. So if you want to jump into this conversation, come on over to YouTube and you can join the chat, jump on the show and let me know. Should kids be guaranteed playing time in youth football? I want to know. You take that link, jump on. You don't have to get on video. You can just be on audio. But I want to know, guys, let me know, do you agree or disagree with my take? Do you agree or disagree with my take? Should kids play or be guaranteed playing time in youth football? I want to know. Just get that link that's in the comments and jump on, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to continue to talk until somebody jump on. And don't be afraid. Like, for some reason, guys get nervous, get afraid. Trust me, guys. Look, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm big on respect, all of that. We had great coaches on the last show that gave their opinion, and I absolutely loved it. It's not about agreeing with me or disagreeing. It's about making youth football great again. It's about what we can do to make the game better, push the game forward, right? That's what it's all about. So let's continue this argument, guys. And this is my personal argument as to why you should give every kid playing time, okay? This is my argument. And if y'all getting value, hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button if y'all getting value. Let other coaches know that we are live. I know this is kind of a, spark of the moment kind of thing. But make sure y'all hit that like button so it let coaches know that we are live, and subscribe to the channel. All right. Here's my argument. Number one, development comes first. Development comes first. Kids learn football through practice and repetition. And I believe that they learn by getting on that goddamn field. They do not learn by standing on the sideline watching the whole game play out. One thing we do in our program, when I was coaching, one thing we was big on is we put our players in groups, and we let the developmental players cook just like the all-stars cook. We put as many reps in with the developmental guys as we do with our skill guys. And when we go through our group activities, our offense and our defense, we rotate these kids in. So when we start going into the game and we start rotating these kids in, guess what? They're not lost. I heard a coach say the other day, well, these kids be lost at practice. They lost at practice because you're not engaging them. What you think a 7-year-old is going to do if he's just standing in the line, standing around? What you think a 9-year-old is going to do if he's just standing around waiting to do the drill? This is why we do circuits. This is why I talk about system. You need a goddamn system at practice. You need a robust system. If you just got kids in line standing around, they're going to daydream and get distracted because they're kids. That's what kids do. And again, guys, I just put the link again in the chat. If you want to jump on the chat, chop it up with me. Again, let's see. We got our first coach coming to the stage, Coach Zach. Coach Zach, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Can you hear me?
I can, man. Well, first and foremost, welcome to the Beast Pod. And I got to ask you, brother, so do you think players should be guaranteed playing time or no? Let me know, Coach.
I do. Our organization does mandate playing time, and
Nice.
every player is required to get at least 8 plays per game.
Nice. 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 How has that worked for you and your team? In other words, how do you utilize your players according to that play minimum?
For the most part, it works pretty good. We do have systems in place to make sure that all the kids get playing time. I was actually coming on because I'm looking for some ideas here
Okay.
to maybe help improve that. The biggest area that we typically struggle with is that we have 7 minute quarters,
Mhm.
and oftentimes when either our team or the opposing team is struggling with game management, it can be very difficult to get all those guys on the field in a game.
Right.
And the biggest thing that we struggle with though is we have a handful of kids who seem really disengaged, and we try to be engaging in practices, but we do
Mhm.
have a few kids that just don't want to be there. You know what I mean? I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense, but
Oh yeah.
parents sign them up, and that's, I mean, hey, look, they're out there. We're going to try to develop them as much as we can, but at the same time, I'm struggling with ideas on how to get these kids engaged when they just don't want to be there.
Yeah, I think, before I give you that answer, I want to welcome Coach Brown to the show. How you doing, Coach Brown?
Hey, I'm good, Coach. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm good, man. Welcome to the Beast Pod. I'm going to pose the same question to you in a minute, whether you agree or disagree. If kids are guaranteed playing time, just hold your horses on it, and I'm going to get right back to you, Coach. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, to answer your question, Coach, so I've been on both sides of the spectrum, meaning I've had developmental kids who wanted to be there and they just didn't have the skill set, but they was gritty or they had the desire to learn, right? And then I had kids who did not want to be there whatsoever. You know, maybe they mama wanted them to get out the house, stop playing video games, and get out there and play. And I mean, I'm thinking about this kid literally who was smart as a whip, right? And I knew he wasn't like a legit football player. This is kid probably going to end up working for NASA or someplace. Really smart kid, right? And I put him as my center. I love put my smart kids at center because a lot of them are really low risk players, right? Put him at center. He enjoyed it for probably 2 weeks, and he came to me like, "Coach, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't want to play. Like, And then and usually there's an underlining factor there, Coach. Right? Usually the kid don't want to play because he's not used to adversity. He don't like to be physical. He don't like to be confrontational. Competition to him it just makes him uncomfortable because he never been in that situation before. So what I ended up doing with that kid is I moved him away from center and I moved him to left guard, weak side guard, right? The kid absolutely loved being the weak side guard. And we made it through the season with that kid, being at that position. So sometimes, coach, you know, we have to figure out why does this kid, doesn't want to play the game of football. Like, what's the problem? And a lot of it has to do with, the mental factor, the emotional factor of him being afraid of either contact, confrontation, or being in a high risk situation because he never been in it before. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good perspective. I don't think I really kind of considered it like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's such a lot of these kids, and it's something I learned over the years, is that a lot of these kids just not used to adversity and they run from it. And from the external factor, what they're saying to us is, I don't want to play football. I just don't want to play. But then when you start digging deeper and you figure out that why, it's like, oh, I don't want to play because I don't want I don't want the attention of snapping the ball. Or I don't want to, hit head up with the best player on the team because he scared me after he ran over this kid. I don't want to play no more. And then, but once you start to understand and kind of, you know, I use this word, be intentional about developing the EQ and the IQ of the kid, their desire to play, begins to increase. So I hope that helped, coach. I hope that helped, man.
It does. Can I ask you one quick follow-up question of that? As far as
Yeah,
like,
sure. And hang tight, Coach Brown. I got you, brother.
yeah, I don't want to bogart the whole conversation here, man. Sorry.
You good.
Do you think there's ever a time where it's appropriate to go to the parents to have a conversation to say, like, we've had this conversation, we're, trying to find the right spot. We want to get him in, but like,
Mhm.
I mean, is there ever a point where that's appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I got this open door policy with my parents. If there's a problem, I will go to my parents intentionally. Usually, though, I like to talk to my parents like the beginning of the week, the new week, right? So if I'm seeing problems, let's say on a Wednesday and Thursday at practice with a kid, I may not say nothing to that parent until Monday, right? Because I want to kind of start fresh from a coaching perspective with that kid and with that parent, so they know what's going on, what we need to work on, what they can work on, with the kid at the house. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because again, I've learned, especially, I'm gonna just say it, like with the moms will put a lot of pressure on their kid to play and to do things, and they don't know how to effectively communicate with that particular kid. And so the kid kind of becomes closed off and defensive. And so when the kid come to you, all you see is the kid don't want to play, not motivated, bad body language, all of that. But when you start, and it's kind of a sports psychology thing, once you understand the thought process of that kid and what's going on, you're able to kind of figure out, what's happening, and now get the kid to begin to perform for you. And I'll say this too, guys. I put this schedule up for you guys. I created this for you guys to give you an idea of how we rotate our players in. And you guys can use this, screenshot it, all of that good stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, so first quarter, we're playing our starters, okay? The starters got to set the tone, all of that good stuff. The second quarter, this is when we start to rotate our developmental players in. And especially, we try to develop or put these kids in these non-critical situations, right? So I will put them in maybe first 5 minutes of the second quarter, right? Or I may even put them in on the backside of the second quarter if we got a big lead, right? So, but the kids get a lot of playing time, our second team guys or our developmental guys, in the second quarter, okay? Then going into the third quarter, I may still have a few of them in there to get their playing time in. But then by the time we go to the fourth quarter, I like my starters to finish strong unless we just blowing out a team. You got me? So this is literally kind of how we do it. And I thought I'd create this for you guys to help you, because I knew a question like this was coming.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Hey, my pleasure, Coach. My pleasure. And if you don't mind, hang on the chat with me. I'm gonna get Coach Brown in here, and we can kind of continue this conversation if you don't mind, Coach Zach.
Sure.
Awesome. So, Coach Brown, man, appreciate you for waiting and your patience, brother.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Let's start here, man. Do you agree or disagree that a kid should be guaranteed playing time in youth football? Let me know, brother.
So I'm in Richmond Hill, Georgia, and I coach for a 12U football team.
Yes, sir.
With the rec department, and their rules are all kids have to have playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So from the get-go, I agree that any child or athlete that signs up should get an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
What I like to do, Coach, is my developmental guys, I put them on the teams unit. I put them on punt team and the kicking team. And they actually grew to love it. They love sprinting down the field, breaking down and making an open field tackle. And then once they realize that, okay, hey, trust the system, trust your pads, then they're over here pulling at the shirt tail, asking to go in on defense or asking to go in on offense to lay a block.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
To answer your question, Coach, yes, I agree.
I love that. So I want you to stick right there, hang right there. I want to welcome Coach G in. Coach G, welcome to the show, the Beast Pod, man. Glad to have you on, brother.
What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much. So let me know, Coach. How do you feel about this discussion? Do you think a kid should be guaranteed playing time or not in youth football? Let me know, Coach.
They pay the same fees as everyone else, man. And
Yeah.
like our league here, we have a lot of things in place to get kids their playing time.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there's always a safety risk if a kid's not showing up to practice, being prepared.
Yeah.
But as our league, I don't know. It's really a rec league. So we have a 25-point split where if I got you beat by 25 points, that is the end of competition, but the clocks will keep running.
Yeah.
And then at that point, we have a rule. You will change your backfield, your quarterback, your running backs, everyone like that. So if you're not working your second string, whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not working them at practice, then that's gonna affect them in their playtime too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how we kind of get our kids to show up to practice and stuff. Like, hey, you're gonna get your work in too. So we're making sure everyone knows offense, everyone knows the defense.
Man, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I think something you made mention of right there that I picked up on, the league helps to really regulate that standard and hold that standard and hold us as coaches accountable. I mean, even in our league, when I first started coaching, there was no minimum requirement, play, but I already had it set in my mind that I'm going to play every kid. And that's always been the standard in my program. And we get a lot of kids from other programs who never got playing time. And we get some of the most like high character kids. And what we do is we develop them. We make them football players, right? And we end up dominating games because we got kids who want to play, want to learn, want the opportunity to grow, right? And so, I think leagues matter. The quality of the league. What does the league allow? And how do they hold us as coaches accountable? Because, the fact of the matter is that I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it because I see, different type of coaches from all across the country and different spectrums. You got some coaches who want to run their program like they are literally a 6A, 7A high school football coach. And they look at these little 9-year-old, 10-year-old kids and they're like, oh, he trash. I'm not playing him. He's going to stay on the bench. It's like, man, dude, this is youth football, bro. You are a developer, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not only a teacher, but you are a developer. Now, if you want, to bench kids and make it all about winning, you should put yourself in a position to coach high school football or college football. But at the youth football level, you should at the very least focus on developing kids, give them, and this is what we do. Like if we got a kid, for example, who maybe special needs or got a learning disability or something like that, we just don't overwhelm them with responsibility. We teach them one valuable skill set that they can add to the team, right?
I'll tell you what
What
I did. My older son, he just finished up with me with his little league career.
Mm-hmm.
He's autistic. He's high functioning autistic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put him in nose guard. Real simple. Ball moves, you freaking go. Shoot a gap.
Yep.
And he ended up being a freaking monster for me. I worked him up to the point where he'd be my DN. And from that point on, he started feeling the importance of himself.
Yeah.
And that made him hungry. So I'm like, okay, maybe this will work. So you start making these other kids feel super important. It drives them to keep learning and put in more effort. They show up to practice on time. They stay after practice for the bonus work. And so now, because I finished up with him, I dropped down to my younger kids' age group, which is 8U. He's 7. Mm-hmm. And we're having our draft, and there's another little boy. He's got the glossy eyes, just like my son did. And I said, I want that kid.
Wow.
And really, what it is I know I can flip that switch in this kid's head. He'll run through a wall for me.
Yeah.
So it's all about. I've been doing this since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna learn how to deal with every kid, parents, and everything like that. It's how much do you want to affect their lives?
Man, I love it, brother. I absolutely love that. And you know, you sparked the question, and I'm opening this question back up to all three of you guys. And listen, if you're just coming onto the show, welcome to the Beast Pod. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We are talking about should kids be guaranteed playing time in youth football. And look, I got more slots available. If you want to jump in on the discussion with the fellow coaches here, I just dropped the link. Just click on that link in the comments and join the discussion, guys. Love to have you on. So, guys, here's my question for you, because I jumped into coaching in 07 and I was 20 years old. And I remember vividly the first parent that came and brought their son, that, you know, parent seen us practicing, pulled up like, look, how can I sign my son up for your program? Because every time I drive by, y'all look professional in all of this. And, you know, that did something to me. That still stood out to me all the way back then, right? And I took pride in having a very professional, you know, organized program. But my question to you guys is, why do you think there are so many youth football coaches who are reluctant to give their kids, their developmental players, the playing time? Or even let's not even talk about playing time. Let's talk about just development. Why don't coaches focus on developing their kids at practice so they can have an opportunity to play and contribute to the team?
I personally, man, I don't believe many coaches are. You got to be a life coach in a way, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really out of touch with humility. And it took me a while to learn it. I used to be super rambunctious and hyped up and crazy. And I had my own boy out there, and
You cut
Hey,
out,
Coach.
Coach.
I'm sorry. Hey, Coach.
Go ahead,
So,
Coach Brown.
like you said earlier about being a teacher, I think a lot of youth football coaches, at least around where I'm at, they don't want to actually teach. They don't want to teach the game that we all love. They just want to get out there. It's like, oh, let me buy Coach Beast's playbook, and all right, we're just gonna run this 26 power
Yep.
the whole time. Like,
Yep.
no understanding why we're running 26 power. You know, they don't not teaching the down blocking or the scraping, or they don't want to teach it. They just want to run up the score and do like that. I've been a youth football coach now. My daughter is 15, so for 10 years, coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a big fan of yours since, wow, I can't, 2-3 years now.
Appreciate you, brother.
Big fan. And I just love how you always say, organize, organize, organize. So I'm out at the field 30, 40 minutes earlier, and I have my cones set up, and the kids know, okay, hey, they're gonna come in, they're doing this drill, this drill, this drill. They already know. So they go do their dynamic warm-ups. I don't have to say anything. And then they split in half. So we're doing our angle tackles, we're doing our blocking, we're doing it all. And they understand the purpose behind every single thing, because I'm big on teaching.
Yeah.
I'm big on teaching. So like Coach G said also, it's like, hey, essentially it's the next man up.
Right.
The next man up. I have a couple kids who play on the middle school team, so they might not make it to one of our rec games. So I need my next man to be up and understand every single thing that is going on and the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I mean, this is the thing too, guys. 2 points I want to make. The first point is, a lot of guys get into youth football coach, and I'm gonna just be blunt about it. They just want to call goddamn plays. They just want to call plays. When they get into their head coaching spot, they realize, oh, damn, I got to talk to the parents. I got to be organized. I got to communicate. I got to, fundraise. I got to, so even with my content, if y'all notice, guys, if you've been following me for a while, I talk a lot about program management, sports leadership, organization, because those are the things that make you a good youth football coach, a good person, a good leader, man. You know, like it's a lot of guys who, you know, teach things on YouTube and different platforms that just X's and O's, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I tried to do to differentiate me from anybody else on the web is I want you guys to be like great program builders. I want y'all to build high value youth football programs, and I want y'all to be high value youth football coaches. Like I tell people all the time, if you just want to call plays, do not be a head coach. Just be an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Because if you want to be a good head coach, you got to be a good teacher, a good developer. You got to know how to fundraise. You got to know how to communicate. You got to know how to talk to people. You got to know how to talk to kids. You got to be patient, right? You got to have character. You got to have these things, man, if you want a good program. And a lot of these guys, I hate to say it. A lot of these guys, they want to win a championship ring and they want to stack their teams and they just want to run the plays that they, you know, have drew up on their paper and they want to see if it works. And if a kid don't fit into their agenda and can't operate or execute the plays they want to run, that kid is a liability to them. It's not an asset to them whatsoever. And so when you got a good, I would say just from a percentage standpoint, let's just say 20% of coaches who think that way, it really anchors down and pulls down the brand of what youth football should be about, which is developing and teaching these kids the game and have them love the game. I feel like, guys, if you got 70% of kids leaving youth football after 13, that's a problem. 70%? That's a big problem. You know what I'm saying? And guys, I'm over here and I'm looking at comments that came on Instagram the other day. And you know, I had a coach say, and I'm throwing a question out here to you guys. The coach said parents need to get their kids reps outside of practice. It's not a pay to play sport. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I'll weigh in on that. I mean, you
Okay.
said it earlier. I mean, look, I'm all about if parents want to get out there in the yard, throw some ball with the kids, you know, do some things. If the coach is giving some feedback for stuff to work on at home, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as a coach, you can't expect these parents to know the fundamentals of the sport, you know, how to teach their kids, you know, proper hitting and tackling techniques. I mean, there's there's a lot that goes into it, you know, and I don't think we set the expectation of the parents and put that on them. I mean, we raised our hand to be here, right? I don't think any
Right.
coach, you know, has been forced into a coaching position. We should be there to develop the kids and love doing it.
Right. I love that. I love that. Anybody else got something to say on that?
Man, personally, myself, I put my kid through the ringer outside of practice even. My assistant coach as well, he holds open workouts at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone is welcome. He puts them through the drills, the the freaking, oh, I forget what you call it, man.
Like combine, like circuit.
Yeah, yes, he works them. He works them. They'll go over to our bridge. We have a bridge over here in the middle of town with a bunch of stairs. Those
Mm-hmm.
kids are, and it's all voluntarily. You show up and we get a workout in, you get a workout on. And we're talking about kids from 5 years old up to about 13.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just, to me, my assistant coach is the epitome of a coach. He loves to work with kids. That's just what it is. He busts his butt. He makes himself available to work kids out. Now, if kids don't show up, that's fine. It is what it is.
Right.
But it's having the availability to do it. With me and my job, I don't have it as much. But as soon as I can make it there to put my foot in with it, I'm there.
Right.
And, you know, outside of tackle football, we do the flag football. Outside of flag football, we do wrestling. Like, we are just completely involved. And everything kind of works with each other. I believe wrestlers are the greatest football players in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely, man. Especially like with me in my program, I like to work with my big boys. I'm the O-line coach in my program. I tell, and y'all probably seen it on my videos. I said, look, in the off season, put your kids in wrestling, track. I want them to be in some gritty sports, because when they're in the trenches, I want them to be monsters. You know what I'm saying? And to the point of what all of you guys are saying, I just think a big issue that's happening right now is that coaches don't care. Like a lot of guys don't care. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm gonna give you guys the perfect example of this. Check this out. So again, I'm going down the thread of my Instagram, and again, I made a video about parents are fed up, and I'm gonna share the story with you guys in a minute. But I shared a video, parents are fed up, and one of the coaches said, I promise you, we don't care. The kids, the best kids gonna play. What in the world? What in the world? And therein lies the problem, because to all of you guys' points, we have to understand when the kid signs up, or parent signs their kid up to play, they are depending on us to be the coach, be the developer, be the teacher. And some parents, like if you take us, right? Like when we got time, we're going to put in the time with our kids, right? But you got parents who don't know what a position is. They don't know what a formation is. How do you tell a parent to work with their kid? And let's say it may be, let's just say a single mom out there that's working 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet, just to pay for the registration fee. But then you're saying you need to be working with your with your kid, when you get home. I think that's a problem. That's a bad mindset as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the parent can afford it, they can hire a private or personal trainer, a private coach or something like that to put in the extra work. But let's be honest, every parent ain't able to do that. 85% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. People trying to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Coach.
Hey, Coach. So the caveat of your last question, what I ask my parents to do on the days that we do not practice is get some conditioning in with the kids. Have them do a couple sprints, light pole to light pole, and just and send. I have a team group chat, and just send a couple videos of their kids doing it. Nothing crazy, but just something to keep their lungs open and to continue to work.
Yeah.
Yep. I do the same thing.
I love that. I do that too. Yeah.
I use that band app, and I'll have them send me a video of them doing 20 push-ups or sit-ups,
exactly,
squats, all that good stuff, just to show me that they're doing their work. And that takes nothing from the parents, really. You can sit there, parent could be watching TV as their kids getting their quick little workout in before bed, and it's just something.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, there's something I've done in my previous programs, guys, is, we do summer workouts. And usually with summer workouts, we have maybe 7 to 10 kids. I call them the core, right? These kids is going to be the leaders in the fall, right? So when the fall comes and those new kids come, we have live chat, with these kids, whether what I do, I put them in a Facebook group, and we all just chop it up. I talk to the kids, make sure they're doing good in school. We're big on academics and career development. In our program, just teaching the kids the soft skills, making good eye contact, talking with respect, being a leader, being high character, right? So I talk to the kids, I hold them accountable, like in our summer workouts, we go hard. We do the push-ups, the sit-ups, the jumping jacks, just a lot of body weight exercises. And we hold them to the fire, and we make sure that they hold their teammates to the fire to make sure they're not acting up in class and all of that. Because if they do act up, my leaders are going to tell me, and then now I'm able to hold those kids accountable. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about having a great program and a great system, in place, guys. You know what I mean? So I got another question for you guys. And And again, guys, if you're just coming in, welcome to the Beast Pod. Be sure to hit that like button, guys, and subscribe. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to join. I'm going to drop the link in the comments for you guys. There we go. Drop the link in the comments for you guys. Feel free to jump in on this conversation. We're going to be on just for a few more minutes because I know it's football day, college football day, and I know a lot of you guys may want to get to college football. So let me ask you guys this. Moving forward, do you think there's anything we can do to deal with or to how do I say this? Do you think anything we can do to promote these kids getting more playing time and we make sure kids are not left behind and neglected in youth football? Because I personally think it's out of control. I think it's been out of control for years. I think you got a lot of guys who have that mindset of, well, I'm going to play the best talent, period. But what do you guys think that we can do to mitigate this issue? I got my opinion on it. I'll share it after you guys. So what y'all think?
Yeah, I think coaches need to get. I don't know how you guys with your leagues how they're set up. Our league has a board.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting on the boards, getting active. I mean, look, parents out there, that want their kids to have, guaranteed playing time. If you're in a league that has a board, you don't feel like coaching, you don't feel like that you have the call to coach, get involved with the board, try to get it approved through the board to mandate playing time. And if you're in a league where there's playing time that's mandated, get on the board and see that it stays around.
I love that. I love that. Anybody else? I got to say something on that one, Zach. I believe this, guys. I truly believe this. I believe the league set the tone. The league set the tone. There are certain leagues to let any and everything go on. And then, a lot of these leagues are the leagues where you see on the 10 o'clock news that there was a youth football fight or shooting or something crazy going on. And then you hear the story of, oh, well, we've had previous issues with this program for 2 years, 3 years, and now it went to a boiling point. Now we didn't suspended the team indefinitely. And, everybody get on the news and they say, well, it hurts the kids more than anything. It's been hurting the kids. What was the leagues doing, or that, the league where this incident happened, what were the leagues doing to regulate this stuff? I truly believe that if we have leagues that are more robust and have more guidelines, it'll eliminate a lot of this bull crap, right? Like if there's a league, I think Coach G was talking about it. If it's a league where you not only got a play minimum, but now you got to put in your second stringers, by the second quarter, let's just use that. Now you're forced to freaking coach. Now you're forced to put them in your game plan. And I think more regulation needs to be in place, with that. But it's tough. It's tough because all around the country, right, you got different leagues in different areas, in different regions, So, this is the question, guys. Do you think we need like a uniform league or almost like national board for youth football to help regulate rules nationwide?
Coach, I would say before one tries to do that, how about you just be the standard of your area?
Love it.
You just be the standard of your area. You show, that, okay, hey, it doesn't matter, what the score is. I'm going to put, little Johnny or little Timmy in, what I'm saying, regardless of it. We can be down 28-0 or we can be up 28-0. Hey, look, you've been showing up to practice. Here you go. Come on.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, you do that. So now my question is, and I apologize if I'm going on a rant real quick, is
You're good.
what do you recommend we do if little Johnny does not come to practice all week and then shows up game day? Is like, okay, hey, where's my 10 minutes of playing time? Like,
Yeah.
sir, you haven't been to practice. You'll get in when you get in, but you haven't been to practice.
Yeah. I tell you exactly what we do. I tell you exactly, man. So our very first parent meeting, I let these parents know if little Johnny doesn't come to practice, miss one day of practice, they automatically don't play the first quarter. If little Johnny miss two practices, they don't play the first half. If little Johnny don't come to practice at all, he don't play at all that game because it's not fair to the kids who do come. I let my parents know that. I also get them to sign a parent agreement that they understand those rules, and then I send those agreements to my league. And what I do with the league, though, is I make sure all of my parent guidelines are the same as the league, but then I put our team rules in there as well, which again, our team rules pretty much echo the league rules other than playing time, parent drama, like if a parent, unruly or jeopardize the safety of a kid, we got power to dismiss them, from the program and stuff like that. But I let these parents know day one, guys, and I say this all the time. I'm harder on my parents than I am on my kids, especially at the beginning of the league, because beginning of the season, because when you let these parents think that you're, a yes man, and you're like, yeah, sure, you can do that, yeah, or you are, how do I say this? When parents feel like they can run over you or test you, they'll try to do it. So what I try to do is lay out everything in that parents meeting. If parents miss that meeting, I have a backup meeting, and usually, I always have one or two that don't show up to nothing. I'm going to talk to you one-on-one. And if you want your son to play on this team, I'm going to tell you everything that we went over with this meeting, and you got to sign that paper. Because if you don't sign that paper, your son not going to play in my program. And so that's kind of how we do it, Coach.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, guys, man, look, I appreciate y'all participation, man. This has been awesome. This has been awesome. Before I let you guys go, I want you to shout out your team, and also if there's anything else y'all want to say, let me know. Let's start with Coach Zach.
Yeah, we're the West Oaks Prowlers out of northwestern North Carolina.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Thank you so much, man, for being on the pod. Coach G.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Roswell, New Mexico, Purple Rain.
Let's go. Let's go. New Mexico, one of my favorite states. One of my favorite states. My in-laws stay in New Mexico. Cool.
Man, cool. People say a lot of nonsense about it, but I love it. This is home to me.
Yeah, hey, bro, I think it's a gem, man. I've thought about getting property out there somewhere around Albuquerque or something, man. I love that state.
Oh, see, Albuquerque is one I stay away from.
Yeah. Hey, we need to talk about it off the show. We got to talk about it, Coach.
Absolutely, man. Anytime.
Cool. All right, Coach Brown.
We're the Richmond Hill Panthers from Richmond Hill, Georgia.
Let's go. Right next door.
Yeah, only thing I'm waiting for, Coach, is your Beast single wing.
The single wing?
Yeah, the one that you said that you're gonna be releasing in like November, December time frame.
Are you talking about the wing tee or the single wing? Because I got the single wing.
The new one that you said you about to release. I can't recall which the name of it is.
Wing tee.
Yeah, yep. I'm waiting for that, Coach.
Oh man, hey, it's coming. It's coming soon. Soon. And also for you guys who don't know, I started a new membership, the Beast Bloodline Brotherhood. If you guys are not a part of that, man, join, because I'm dropping all of my playbooks, my new ones in there, and y'all get those free. And it's great for you guys who've already purchased the playbook bundle, because anything new that I drop, regardless of what it is, whether it's a playbook, a drill book, any resource, is dropping in that membership first to all the brothers in that brotherhood. So if you guys are interested in joining the Beast Bloodline, I will put a link to it. Let me see here. I'll put a link to it, but I strongly urge you guys to join. And quite honestly, it's the smart thing to do. I'm gonna be honest. Like, and I'm being real. You know, I could make more money off of my playbook bundle, but it makes sense to go with the membership because you get the playbook bundle, all of my courses, all of my drills, you get everything, including you get coaching from me all season long, just like how we are on the show right now. You get that from me within the group, you know. So it's just kind of a no-brainer. I wanted to make some a no-brainer for you guys, and that's it. That's it, man. So, guys, man, look, appreciate y'all so much for jumping in on the show, all of that good stuff, guys. Anything else y'all want to say before I let y'all go?
I got one thing, man. I think what can kind of help people, man, if you're going to take time to coach these kids, you better take time to actually get to know them and love them. Like, without love for the game and love for taking care of each other, it really doesn't do its part.
Man, dude, you hit the nail on the head right there. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, guys, if it wasn't for my youth football coaches caring about me, right? Shout out to Coach Banks. Shout out to Coach Prince. My head coach in youth football, we still connected on Facebook. He still talk to me. He still talk to me like he's my head coach, and I still respond to him like I'm his player, right? Like, you got to love on these kids. These kids aren't, you know, a piece of trash. These are human beings, and they are vulnerable, and they're looking up to you. You know what I'm saying? The way you treat these kids, they remember it. They don't forget it. You know what I mean? And the best coaches I ever had were my youth football coaches and my junior high coach. I can't say much about my other coaches on the JV varsity level, you know, and stuff like that, because I felt like they didn't care, you know? So, man, you hit the nail on the head, Coach, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I'll just jump in, man. I'll say I appreciate what you're doing here. I've come across a couple of your shorts on another app, and you know, a couple of them struck a nerve. You know, I didn't understand your message at first, so I would, you know, any other coaches that are out there that, you know, may not necessarily agree with everything you're seeing out there that you're putting out, jump on here and get to know somebody. You know, I mean, I think it's a good exercise.
Man, I love that, man. I appreciate you.
I learned a lot today, man, so I appreciate you.
Hey, man, my pleasure, and thanks for hanging with me and rocking with me, because you know, I say this a lot. You know, I try not to say something that's going to hurt you. You know, I know that what I say, everybody's not going to agree with. You know, which is cool. That's fine. You know, we all have our different philosophies, opinions, and things of that nature. But I try to share my experience with you guys, and I try to help you. And I tell anybody, if it's something that I say that you don't agree with or you don't like, man, eat the meat and throw away the bones. You know, like I may say something that a guy may get on and be like, screw you, man, you can't coach, you suck, you know, who are you, think you are, you know, and all of that. And for me, dude, I'm like, man, why do you take it so personal? Because I don't do this through motivated by hate. I do this because I care about coaches. I love coaches. Why? Because I know coaches are life changers. I don't see coaches just as, you know, X's and O's guys. You guys are life changers, man. These kids need mentors, need people to look up to, especially in this world, right? And you guys are doing God's work, you know. I did it for 15 years. And now, you know, I always point back to this check and stuff, you know. Won this award from ESPN and State Farm back in 2017 for my sports leadership and community service, man. And when I won that really gave birth to this, what I do now, meaning like I wanted to help other coaches have that experience that I had. And all I was doing was just caring. I cared about these kids. I wanted to change their lives. You know, where I was coaching was a low income place. A lot of these kids don't know what a real man even looks like. They don't even know what success looks like, right? And just being there, being a model of success for them, and somebody that they can remember when, you know, they're long gone from my program. that's everything to me. And so now just empowering you guys to do the same wherever you are. That's how we make youth football great again, right? Make it a trustworthy sport and make it a trustworthy brand for all of you guys. Y'all know what I mean?
Man, it's a sad reality. Most of us are dealing with kids that are coming from broken homes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to say there's not a lot of dads out there. There's not a lot of good moms out there.
Yeah.
These kids deserve to show up to practice or their games and not see someone show their ass, basically.
Right.
So when other coaches and stuff like that are acting crazy, I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. It's a freaking game. It's a game of life. But these kids deserve so much more. They deserve so much more than what the world is giving them. So any little bit I do. You know, my kids too. My kids alone, they technically a broken home. I'm not with their moms.
Yeah.
But I get to be dad. I get to be coach. I get to be everyone's dad for a couple months out of the year.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. I love it.
I love that. That's well said, brother. Well said. I mean, I think we all as men or as coaches, because I don't want to forget the ladies too, because the ladies get on to me. They're like, look, I coach too. Don't just talk about the men. But us as men, I have to say this, you know, we all got a story and we all been through our shit, you know, and it all of those things make us who we are, you know, like I'm a divorcee, remarried, blended family, huge blended family. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't go through all the things that I went through when I was younger, man, I wouldn't be who I am today, you know, because you go through enough stuff in your life, you begin to realize that half of this crap that we worry about, it doesn't matter. And then you're able to now focus in on what matters. And in my life, what matters is helping you guys be successful so y'all can help y'all kids, help y'all neighborhoods, y'all communities, y'all towns and cities, right? That's my mission in terms of my career. You know, giving y'all the tools, support, mentorship, and the things that I do. Like, this is fun to me. I'm obsessed with this, right? But I'm able to get off this show, go back, spend time with my kids, spend time with my wife, and you know, do it all over again. That's my dream. And everything else is just noise to me. Everything else is just noise. So I'm able to stay laser focused and keep the main thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. So again, guys, look, I appreciate y'all so much for jumping on the Beast Pod. Coach Zach, Coach G, Coach Brown. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to let you guys go. If you have enjoyed the show, guys, if you have enjoyed the show, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. If you haven't already, look, guys, we doing God's work. We're on the mission to make youth football great again. And I'm not going to stop until we do it. I'm not going to stop until we do it. So join me on this mission, guys. Join the Army, Beast Nation, guys, and help me make youth football great again. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all guys for watching. Also, don't forget, the Beast Pod is on every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure that when you subscribe, you not only subscribe, but you hit the notification bell so you don't forget the show. I know we all got BSC lives, but that notification bell will let you know when we're about to go live, okay? So make sure you do that, guys. All right, guys, that's it for the show today. Thank you guys for hanging with me, chilling with me, rocking with me. And until next time, guys, win more games, score more points, and beast out. Peace.